Yo Cupo fans, welcome back to another exciting episode on the Cupo channel. Thank you, boss. Top. Hope you guys have had a fabulous time. Hope you guys are enjoying the new content. Please do tell us in the comments below what you guys think, because we do this specifically for you. Today is actually a request video. Hold on 1 second, let me just get my phone out. And Jeff asked me a question on my last post, and his question was, what's the difference between a cappuccino, an espresso, lattes, and like a frappuccino? In this video, I'm just going to go through the 4 different ones to explain what the difference is between those. Let's do this. As you can see over here, this is a espresso machine. A espresso machine is basically the machine that makes the espresso. An espresso consists of coffee beans, now coffee beans grinded down into about the thickness of table salt. Then we tamp them down. Once it's tamped down, it creates like a filter, so it's basically pressurizing the coffee together into a small little biscuit. Then we pop this into the espresso machine. So Jeff, this is an espresso. As you can see, the crema and the tiger stripes. So that's basically the purest form of coffee. The way that the Italians drink this. When you go to Italy, most Italians would probably consume around about 5 to 20 espressos in one day. A lot of people think it's very, very unhealthy. Espresso kind of relaxes you, pushes up your blood pressure. We'll do a whole episode on healthy benefits of coffee and obviously the unhealthy benefits of coffee. And but for now, just an espresso. You should always try and drink an espresso before 2.5 minutes after it was made, because then the crema goes away. So the crema is basically that beautiful blanket on top. A question that comes up quite a bit is, why do you slurp? I slurp for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, I like getting the flavor of the espresso or the coffee onto my palate. And with oxygen, very similar to wine, it pushes that flavor really, really tight. But the second reason why I slurp, especially on espressos, is it's hot. This baby comes out at about 72 to 78 degrees Celsius out of the machine, which is fairly hot. Some machines push out between 85 and 95, depending on where it is. So when I slurped this one now, it was about 72 to 75 because I waited a little bit. But so if it's too hot, it's going to burn your palate or burn your tongue, and then you can't taste anything anyway. So I like slurping for the flavor and of course to cool it down. Next up would be a cappuccino. Now of course, why did I start with the espresso? Well, because that's the purest form of coffee that we can take in. And it is important to teach your palate how to drink espressos if you really want to enjoy coffee. Grind some coffee, tamp it down always. Now something interesting to note here is that a cappuccino is also made with an espresso. My espressos I want on 24 seconds, especially with Illy, because that's just the prettiest flavor profile that you can get on an extraction. So there's an espresso inside. So yes, a cappuccino is also made with an espresso. We take an espresso and we add hot milk. Now this is called a froffer. It basically is a little pipe that blows out steam. Cold milk. We stick the frother's nozzle, we stick it just into the milk, just to break the surface of the milk, that when we open the frother, it actually pushes oxygen with the hot steam into the milk. And then as soon as it's about the same temperature as your hand, you just pick it up, and then you let it go until you can't hold on to the cup for longer than 2 seconds anymore. Then you know it's the right temperature. And hygiene, always clean. So now we've got a beautiful frothed milk, and we bump it a bit just to get all the bubbles out. So now down here you can see the espresso this side and the espresso for the cappuccino on this side. We basically just swirl the milk around and then pour it on top of the espresso to create a cappuccino. Now the cappuccino has the espresso at the bottom, which is about 25 to 35 milliliters of espresso. Then we go about 80 to 110 milliliters of milk with about a centimeter of froth on top. Okay, so now that we've got the cappuccino over here, if I take the spoon, you can see the froth is fairly thick. That makes it a cappuccino. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, if you guys didn't see the video on the cappuccino yet, do go and check that out. I go into a lot more detail there. We take the spoon, pop it inside for a few seconds, just to make sure that the cappuccino is the right temperature, that I don't burn my tongue. Because there's froth on top, it actually kind of covers the heat, so the heat stays inside the cup for a lot longer. So let's take a sip at it. Much more creamy and a lot more subtle coffee flavor. So that is a cappuccino. Okay, so now to the third one. Something you guys should realize by now is almost everything is made from an espresso. So yes, an espresso is the base to every single type of coffee beverage out there. So the next one that we're doing is going to be the latte. The latte is made slightly different. Now you'll notice that now I extracted the espresso into a small little silver milk jug. There's a reason for that, because when we serve a latte, we serve the espresso on the side so that the client can actually add the amount of coffee flavor that they want to their milk beverage. Now latte in Italian is just milk. So a latte is basically a milk beverage with a coffee flavor inside. So we need, of course, milk. With the latte, when you froth the milk, you can actually push a lot more oxygen inside to get it nice and foamy. You want the froth to be very, very thick. Now, a latte is normally served in a glass cup. The reason for it is we want the people to be able to see what's going on inside. So you'll actually see how much milk, how much froth, and exactly how much espresso you add to your latte drink. So let's make it. You'll see the line over there. So that's milk. That's froth. So then we add the espresso afterwards. Now there you have a beautiful picture. Get the light there. There you've got a beautiful picture of what a latte would look like. Now because this is a very milky drink, you would normally add sugar to this. Or what they used to do is they would throw cinnamon or a chocolate or a cocoa powder over the top so that you can create that beautiful chocolatey smooth flavor. Of course you can mix it up nicely. Now that tastes a lot better. And now for the last one, the frappuccino. Frappuccino I think was invented by Starbucks. I think they kind of own that right. So do I make a proper frappuccino? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how Starbucks makes their frappuccinos, but this is our version of the frappuccino. Espresso. Okay, so now we've got the espresso for the frappuccino. Let's get into making this one. Now a frappuccino is basically consistent of what you need for it, again, is a grinder, some ice, the espresso, and of course, milk. So the way that they produce a frappuccino is pour the ice. Now some guys add water, some guys add milk. The milk one is nicer. So a frappuccino basically is an espresso with milk and ice. That's what it looks like. Do I enjoy this one? No. I prefer an iced coffee, or I prefer an espresso on ice. Frappuccino is drinkable, but it's not my favorite. So that is the difference between an espresso, a cappuccino, a latte, and a frappuccino. Hope you guys love coffee more, hope you guys enjoy coffee more. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet for more coffee videos coming in the future. And in the comments down below, please tell me what is your favorite type of coffee beverage. Have a lovely day.